Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is Mania TrueNerd, and welcome back to our week of SimCity 4. Last time, well, we built, you can see it there, New Jonton, run by John. And I just love how, obviously, when you do things to the map, you can see them on the world. It's like, as you, build cities all next to each other, they feel like they actually connect up, and you've built, a sprawling megacity, even though, of course, the limitations of the game mean you can only do so much. What I am going to do, however, today is, there's something I hadn't really thought about before. There's the making money tutorial up here, just to the north of New Jonton. So I'm going to actually go in here, because this has got, a couple of thousand people, big pile of money here. So we've got this here city that's got, its own populations, its own demands, its own situation. This is just a tutorial level, but you're allowed to play it after you're done. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take myself a nice road. I'm going to run this road straight out of the bottom of this here town. And I'm going to create a connection to New Jonton. Because, this city's right here. Why not? Let's make it a nice proper road. There we are. The city of New Jonton has been connected. So now there's a connection between the city. Which means, as a consequence, all of a sudden, demand has just spiked. In general, I don't think this is ever a bad thing. I'm not aware of any negative circumstances from wiring cities together. It just seems to be generally for the best. There's a little medical clinic there and a whole bunch of open grassy areas around it. Nice. Yeah, this is a reasonably nice city. Actually, I quite like some of the houses, the trees at the back. It's quite nice. What are those? Those are still low-income housing. It's slightly nicer low-income housing than I'm used to. So yes, now that I've done that, I'm just going to drop a save here on money-making tutorial, and now I'm just going to leave straight out of this area. So now that I've put that there, if I return to New Jonton now, New Jonton might suddenly look a whole lot better. Because that little road is now, yeah, there it is. It's right up there. We've now got a road that leads over into the little kind of the tutorial that happens to be next to where I am. Which could, in fact, be very, very useful indeed. So now if I pull this up, aha! That has a positive impact on demand for office space. Which is good, because as I said last time, what I really want is I want some slightly bigger buildings. Because, we've got some, mid-rise stuff going on here at the moment, but it's not exactly spectacular. So I need to get some proper big stuff. Though admittedly, actually, if I just kind of look here now, probably some immediate redevelopment might actually start occurring here. Yeah, some slightly kind of bigger. Oh wait, hang on. This is the area I set up that was allowed to be bigger buildings. Oh my goodness, just slightly speed up time. Slightly speed up time. Slightly speed up. That's Rhino. Come on. Let's just slightly faster. Slightly faster. Oh, it's underwhelming. I'm so underwhelmed. I'm so underwhelmed. Right, I thought that was going to be a bigger building. Yes, there might actually be, if I just kind of speed up time a little bit now, because of that big change, there might be a little bit of a kind of a jump in some redevelopment there. Like a few little bits and pieces are being kind of redeveloped there. Nothing spectacular, but, time goes on, education improves. This is why kind of cheater speed is really useful. Oh, look at that. That's not a bad sized building, actually. I think that is actually the first building that's only been allowed to exist because it's, it's a big housing project. But it's only allowed to exist because I respect this whole area as the high density. So that's nice. That's kind of my first, of the bigger buildings. But, education's kicking in. People are getting smarter as time goes by. Everything is really working very much in my favour. But I need just to improve the population. I think, this used to be true anyway, knowing my luck, this will have completely changed by the Rush Hour expansion. But what used to be the case was it used to be about 45,000 people when you kind of got to be able to unlock some of the more interesting things. So I'm going to just grow my population slightly, and I'm going to do that by having a look-see at where I can logically expand. So if we look here, there might actually be a nice little area off the side of this area where I might just be able to slightly expand, because the hospital easily covers that area, the college could easily cover that area very, very easily. In fact, if you expand that, does that? No, the college doesn't actually have school buses or anything, so you can't actually expand that at all, which is interesting. But this school, I think, has slightly good range. Yeah, I think this is actually all okay. I think this area here will be fine for just a little bit of extra kind of residential on the back here. But we are turning a tidy profit here, and as long as you're turning a tidy profit, and expanding the city, if you've got the money to do it, is almost always a good idea, because that just brings in more and more people. More and more people means more and more taxpayers. Now I am going to, as this is a reasonable area, actually no, I'm just going to put this one at medium density. I don't think we need kind of the heavy density here. Now this stuff should kind of be snapped up in a hurry now. So we've now all of a sudden got quite a big little spike of interest. So all of this should grow. Though, actually, while I think about it, I do also need to put some extra pipes down. Also, if I want the population to grow, that doesn't just mean that what I need to do is kind of just zone more areas. I could, of course, just rezone smaller areas that are kind of quite desirable as bigger areas. So, for example, this area here, I suspect if I rezone this as high density, this here will go very, very nicely indeed. But in general, not a huge rush, actually. The big demand, actually, is for commercial jobs, which is absolutely fine. What I need to do first is I need to figure out where the unemployment hotspots are. In other words, if unemployment, generally commuting is a source of unemployment. Like, mysteriously, people just kind of decide they can't be bothered with their jobs if it takes them a while to get to them. Oh, but we've got a bigger problem. Water looks like it's become a bit of a problem all of a sudden. We've expanded very quickly and the water demands have gone up. But that's actually fine because there was something I realised I needed to do in terms of the water. If we look here at our water pumps, they are, yeah, right at the point of capacity. We've got a problem, which is if I just bring up the data view for water pollution, my water pumps are actually in that there water pollution. And that means I need to move them away to safer areas. So actually, I'm not even going to go and handle this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to straight away, I'm just going to demolish these. So I'm just going to demolish you. And you. This is, I know, going to cause some slight problems when no one's going to have any drinking water for a moment. There we are, we got them. Now, no one's going to have any drinking water just for 1 second, alright? But nobody panic about that. Okay, nobody panic about the fact the entire city is currently dry. Because what we're going to do is we're going to have a whole bunch of... Oh, no, never mind. Yes, fine. We're going to have a whole bunch of pipes and stuff here. And we are going to rebuild the water infrastructure this side. And that is going to be good. 1, 2, 3. There we are. The water pressure has been increased significantly. Now, that costs money... And in fact, we're now pretty much to break even because that does actually, that is a bit on the expensive side. But the water quality should be better. Now, the water quality being better, let's just speed up time so that all those complaints about water go away. There we go. So that's probably going to have some benefits on health because previously I was sending slightly polluted water throughout the city. Now we're sending much better quality water, which is good. But we've got a bigger problem. The population is rising, but the number of jobs isn't. We need to provide a whole bunch of people with jobs in a hurry. So we need to find spots where it doesn't really matter if we shove some extra, if we shove some extra stuff in. So let's just look at the zoning plan quickly. Okay, zoning plan here. It looks like this here could be an excellent situation for a massive retail park on this side and this side of the city. The problem is we're going to have to pay for that somehow. I'm going to pay for that with borrowing because I'm going to need some money in a hurry. So we're going to just need to take out some, just 20,000, 15,000. All right, we've got some money. Now we can use that to build a load of new things that are going to pay. They're going to pay tax, all right? This is all going to pay for itself because all of this is going to be paying lovely, lovely, delicious tax money that I can, you know, use for good things like, I don't know, probably healthcare. So this will all be lovely. So, just quickly go over to some medium density stuff. All of this is going to get snapped the hell up, by the way. Actually, you know what? Leave that, no, leave you, no, fine. Put you over here. Yep, this is fine. And then, why is that doing that there? Can you do... That's useless. Why are you doing useless things? Oh, that's better. That's better, that layout. And then we got this layout here. Yeah, that's fine. I'm just going to do a little bit of high density in here. And the reason I'm going to do high density in here is because I just kind of want some preparations made ready for those moments when we are good for those skyscrapers. Now, I think we've already got a plaza there, but I'm going to shove another one in. So we're just going to put another kind of couple of big old plazas in and around here. Here we go. I'm just going to put a big plaza right here, close by. Multiple plazas. Loads of businesses are just going to jump out of the ground here. This is going to work, okay? This is going to be a worthwhile thing because the taxes are going to jump the moment we're done with this. Now, is this... Oh. Occasionally it does the stupid layout where there's a single block. You'd never want a single block. You want it to be more like that. That's fine. And then hopefully I can trick it, do that. No. No, fine. You know what, we'll do it like this. We'll do it like... No, that's even... Oh, bloody hell. Is that fine? That's all right, and then we'll just have a whole bunch of plazas along here just to encourage people to... just to encourage kind of businesses to move in here. So plaza, 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 plaza. Right, lovely. Loads of plazas. Now this is going to create a ton of jobs. Now with the extra demand, actually, we might be in a good situation here to slightly increase some taxes on these people. Because if we look at the situation here, commercial is, oh, ridiculously favourably taxed. Look at this. Let's put that up to 6%. And this up from 1%. I think we can have 4%, thank you. I mean, that's actually... Okay, 3%. 3%. I don't want to kind of gouge. When I say gouge, I'm really not gouging. I'm not gouging at all. That can be 3%. 3% is a very generous tax rate, you people. The middle class can pay a tiny bit more. The upper class can pay a tiny bit more. I don't really need more people at the moment. I just need to sort out the budget holes. Now, when all of this jumps up now, if we just kind of fast forward time for a moment, all of this real estate's going to get snapped up extremely quickly. Religious call for a new roof. No area needs it, to be honest. Actually, you know what? I've got an idea. Although, actually, before I do that, just slow down time a bit. Slow flipping down time. Oh! New Dumpton down there actually went quite well in the end. I thought New Dumpton was a you know, dumper. No one's ever going to want it. But all right, let's shove a nice church right here at this here corner to make the church right by the industrial estate. It's going to help improve desirability just a tiny bit. Not much, because this area is terrible, but it will help a little bit. Now, I think if I just let time pass by here, suddenly big demands. If I just let time pass by here, this area will actually build itself up really quickly. I can't imagine that area is going to stay business commuters clamour for airport. No! No, 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 no. I swear, every time I play this game, I slap an airport down, and it always doesn't bloody do anything. It just doesn't do anything. It's the most useless thing. Oh, it's another school strike. Hang on, let's go and have a look. See, who has decided to strike? It's probably in this bloody area somewhere. That's where they normally all strike. Yep, there they bloody are. I'm assuming because the population kind of rose because of that new area off to the side that I didn't really compensate for. That's fine. We'll just increase that. I think we're actually doing really well on money just at this exact moment in time. And again, just increase that. And this actually, if we increase the bus radius to slightly catch more people, we can have more people caught up in that school. The high school is slightly over capacity. That's fine. We can just slightly increase that now. How's the health centre doing? Probably struggling a little bit, but that's fine. We can just... Ooh, that's pretty much up to capacity then. Okay, what I need to do then is I need to just divert some people away from that. But we're doing... Those tax jumps have mean we've actually got some spare cash sloshing around, and we've got a whole bunch of businesses coming in. This area up here, I think, could do with its own little health clinic. Because right now, they're actually relying on that single one. Like, a single health facility is a bit much. 1,200 a month, whereas that's only got 500 patient capacity. 500 will... I mean, that's already up to 3,000. It's not particularly efficient to have, like, a medical clinic. That's not particularly efficient at all. I'm going to have a relatively low-funded... Yeah, that actually fits in quite nicely. And conveniently, if anyone dies due to gross negligence, there's a graveyard right there, which is very, very convenient. Yes, what we're going to do is then we'll just quickly adjust this. Obviously, this needs much less ambulance funding, because it's only going to catch this area here. And it needs far, far fewer abilities to heal people, because it's only going to be handling... Yeah, you see, look at that. It's only going to be an extra 400 odd. That's... Oh, yeah, you can literally see it live down there. I'm just going to bring it to... We're still profitable. Patient capacity can just be like 300. And yeah, let's just put it like 400 and we'll see how that does. Now, we just slowly let... Can I see... Where's health? Where's health as a thing? Health, there it is. So if we look at health here... Health, I think, is going to be... Why are you healthy? Oh, probably because you've only just moved in. So health is looking pretty good, I'd say. But the thing is, these people were outside the range of a hospital before, which is why they're a bit on the less healthy side. Whereas these people are all going to be fine. Ooh, look at that. Kareem Medical Supply Company. That's a good sort of a thing. 384 jobs in the nice blue there. That's good. Alright, so now that we've put that there, actually, I wonder if we're going to get some improvements in the very north of the city. Oh, we've got a fire. We've got a fire. Yes, yes. Trucks. Send the trucks. Do send the trucks. The trucks are on their way. We actually have a very nearby truck, so that will get to it very, very quickly. Yeah, we've still got a fire engine in the middle of the industrial estate, so that's not going to be a problem. Interestingly, yeah, the dirty industry, not much demand for that at all, which would actually suggest high-tech industry can be very, very valuable. And it's clean as well, actually. High-tech industry is very, very clean. So if I were to move some high-tech... Why did you just send that fire truck? There's a fire truck, like, in here somewhere. Just use that one. Medical staff. What is the problem with health? Hang on. Did people flock to my new hospital by any chance? Yes, they did. Alright, lots of people flocked to my new hospital. That's fine. We will just take some funding and shove it in there. Absolutely fine. Loads of space. No problem at all. Solar power has shown up, but not quite yet. In fact, we just need to let time do its wicked dance and let the population increase to beyond 45,000. Now we're getting somewhere. Proper big housing projects are starting to rise. We've got a modest surplus, but it's absolutely fine. And if need be, we can just slightly... Actually, let's have a look at this little school that's around here. How's the school doing? Student capacity. Yeah, okay, we can just slightly lower that. That's absolutely fine. So we've still got... Now we've got a ton of interest in the city expanding again. So this is actually very, very good news. The question is, where is the logical place to expand the city? What have we got? We've got ourselves... We could have a nice little area over here to expand here to, because we've got the schools. There's a school there. The school we could just slightly increase the... it doesn't do very much, though. Actually, no, there's that private school we're allowed to go into that area, isn't there? There's a private school that's right there that covers that area as well. So actually, this area here could be a fine area for just a very small expansion. Because I'm looking for areas I can expand into without having to actually bother investing in new infrastructure, because infrastructure is very, very expensive. That gets very expensive. Also, I hate having roads that just aren't quite perfect. Now, yes, let's just put some stuff over here. We don't have to worry too much about this side of it. And that's lovely. That's very nice over there. That will be filled up very, very quickly. I don't need to worry about anything else on that front. Though, as usual, I suspect the reason this area hasn't quite exploded as much as I wanted to is because it didn't have any bloody water, but the game didn't tell me. I swear it used to. So, houses should spring up all over that on the left, as they are doing immediately. That's the same building that caught fire last time. Gosh darn it, send both the fire trucks. Why the hell not? Back into healthy surplus, because now the city's in its growth phase. The city, as it is growing, will naturally kind of pick up people, and thus more taxpayers very, very quickly. Lovely. The industrial markets are clogged. I don't really care. It's absolutely fine. More people are showing up. I just love watching the city in cheetah speed just constantly refresh and improve and upgrade itself, get bigger and bigger and mightier. It's glorious. Now, we've made a healthy little surplus here, which means now, once again, we've got plenty of chance of new jobs. I want as many jobs as possible, because the more jobs you've actually got in your city, the more chance you've got of building kind of new specialised buildings. Actually, let's have a look in the gift buildings, because there's one in particular, the stock exchange. Like, you know, for example, if you've got loads of agricultural jobs, you can do the farmer's market, for example. So I could do an impressive mayor statue, but I'm guessing I probably shouldn't. That seems a waste. Attracts the rich, may upset the rest of the Sims. That could be a good thing to have anyway, really. State fair, university, major art museum, radio. Oh, we've got a radio station we haven't actually taken yet. A radio station keeps the Sims entertained. Sure, why not? Let's find a spot for that in one of my little central bits. Ah, look, there's space right here. A nice radio station there. Here we are. The stock exchange attracts large corporations to your city. Not available because I need an office population of 25,000. Okay, I think that is going to be doable. So office population combined. I think actually what I can do then is I'm not sure why you check that easily to glance. Like, you can find it out from your basic city information when you're kind of going into this area, but I never actually know how to actually find that here, which is interesting. But anyway, I think I know how we can slightly try and game that, which is if we go into the taxes here, well, one, we need to get some high worth individuals in. But actually, you know what? The high worth individuals will already got a fairly decent tax rate in. I need to get, yeah, all the office stuff in. Well, these guys are barely contributing any tax at the moment anyway, so I may as well basically lower their tax burden to almost nothing. Okay, some slight tweaks to the tax code should get the demand for office space up a little bit. So yes, what I've just done there is, yeah, got the demand for office space up a little bit there. All I really need to do is now basically provide these guys with a ridiculously massive amount of office space to move into, and they should just all pile into it. Probably the best thing I could do would be a major expansion of the city. I'm just going to create a massive expansion to these areas kind of around here. Can you go across it? No, you can't go across there. Oh, actually, that's a fair point. I may as well use the... How expensive are avenues? 60... Oh, avenues are so expensive. I'm not going to use an avenue. I'm going to do something else instead. We're just going to have a... This is going to be... Yeah, this is as massive as it looks. This is going to be the biggest retail park in the history of everything. That's what we're doing here. We're going to have a ridiculous retail park. Make sure we've got plenty of kind of a grid system going on here. Nice organised grid system. I will give you America. Your grid system was probably a sensible idea. Nice areas around here. Before we start marking this up, we're just going to toss in a whole bunch of medium-sized plazas just to make sure that there's kind of, you know, lots of interest in people, at least kind of one per region, including some of them at slightly jaunty angles. There we are, quite a few plazas scattered around there. And then finally, we simply begin the process of building. There we are. And of course, immediately it all messes up. Yes, there and there. You just sometimes have to be a little bit careful to make sure that the computer just doesn't kind of mess up. Don't worry, I know right now they don't have power. That's their kind of biggest complaint in life right now. I'm going to deliberately have to drag them in such a way as to make sure that it doesn't all kind of mess up. Because otherwise they will mess up. You see, look at that. That's just kind of a stupid layout. But if we can do it like that and then like across there, that's much more sensible. The accountant's angry about something, but I'm sure it's all absolutely fine. I'll check in on the books later. But I think it's all fine. People are already starting to build in this region, which is very good news. I think she just might be panicking a little bit because I've just basically spent the entirety of the town's money on this kind of this new area that no one has previously shown any interest in developing whatsoever. But that's fine. Oh, and apparently I haven't provided water to the army base. I'm not sure if they even need water. They might or might not do, but just in case, there you go. So with that all there, and a ridiculously large amount of, new jobs created as an opportunity. This should create a huge amount of office space for all these people to move into. This is a huge amount of opportunity, employment opportunities here. Let's just let all these buildings jump up. There we are, and probably get rebuilt. There, look at that. There's new towers shoving up over here. Like, lots of new employment opportunities means new buildings get shown, which means there's more richer people, which means huge numbers of officers. It's the same bloody building again! Right, welcome back to New Jonton. A slightly different New Jonton to the one you were here a second ago, because the bloody game crashed. And I forgot this game doesn't autosave, which means you need to be manually saving all the time, because there is not a single autosave function in this game. So I just lost the entirety of this part so far. I've tried to rebuild as close as I can, so we've still got like the extended residential area and the massive kind of area over here. So that's absolutely fine. So yes, I will now continue onwards, and I've tried to do everything the same, like, you know, the church is down here, and the new medical facility is up here. I think it's all about the same. So my next big job, I think, is because I've got more facilities here than I was originally anticipating, I'm going to slightly extend the residential zone around this kind of shell here. I'm going to just extend the residential zone here, and then around that there's going to be like a comforting little kind of band of yet more retail. I'm in quite a lot of debt. In order to kind of do this quickly, I want to get back to where I was and crack on with the recording. I've kind of took out more of a loan to do things a little bit more quickly. But as a consequence of that, yes, I'm slightly more in debt than I was. So and then we'll just kind of mark the outskirts of what's going to be our new residential zone as well, because that's going to be where all of these lovely people actually work. Exciting new housing projects jumping up here. Very, very nice indeed. And to make sure that we get a decent level of interest, actually I'm going to turn this central bit into basically nothing but parkland. I'm going to make a kind of a big old Yeah, we're going to have like a big playground there. And we're going to have a medium flower garden there. Actually, the rest of it I will allow to be housing. That's absolutely fine. So all the rest of that can become housing. Let's just check where that actually fits in. So we've got this private school here, which is sort of kind of going into this area. There's a primary school in here somewhere. Where are you? Where are you? I know you're in there somewhere, primary school. Primary school here that kind of... I think that's, yeah, that's this one. So the primary school just about extends into this radius, and the medical facility most certainly does. So they are covered by, you know, a few bits and pieces, including, the police station, not quite. They're quite close anyway. Let's just speed things up. I'm pretty sure things should just kind of jump straight into that area. Although, as usual, I suspect it might be a little bit lower because, as usual, I forget to bloody put the pipes in. I always forget to build the bloody pipes. Though there could be some really clever speculating going on here, by the way. The people who are just like, okay, I'll buy out the land because it comes with no water, knowing full well that it's just the bloody mayor's forgot to turn the water on. But in like, you know, in a couple of minutes' time, he'll actually remember the water, and then this will all get redeveloped into something much more valuable in just a few seconds, because there's no chance this won't be developed into more valuable stuff in a minute. Ooh, unless there's... No, it should be... Yeah, there it is, you see? And all of a sudden, it gets redeveloped into much more intensive stuff, and the population jumps straight up. One thing actually this side of town doesn't have that could probably use would be some adult education stuff. It doesn't have like a library, for example. Just a basic library will do, actually. Yeah, a large local library branch. Where can that squeeze in? Just squeeze in here. Ooh, but I kind of want it to be... I'd like it to cover all of these areas. I'm not sure it actually can. Is there a bigger library I could go for? No, I always thought there was a bigger library. Maybe actually you need multiple libraries. I think that might be one of the reward buildings, for example. I'm just going to put a library over here. Now, can I increase its range? No, I can't increase its range. I can underfund it grossly, so it's only got about 10,000 books. But that's enough for most people, I think. Oh, blimey, we're making one hell of a surplus too, which is really good news. We need one hell of a surplus, because I suspect I'm about to start just throwing down a lot of these old buildings here. Luckily, I remembered to pre-water this area, so any of you people who are just craftily planning to just speculate and buy it up cheap while it looks like it's a complete mess, nope, not going to work this time. There we are. Now that is going to be a hell of a lot of real estate. And just to slightly encourage it, we're going to have ourselves, oh no, large plaza to fit there. I just need a medium plaza, one medium plaza, and another medium plaza. That's fine. Just a couple of plazas just to encourage it all along, but I suspect that is just going to bloody spring into life. Give it a couple of seconds. And that is going to create a lot of new jobs and probably significantly increase the desirability of the region. Teachers threaten to strike, blah, 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 blah. Ooh, Jonton prepped for new prep school. We have some new settings, new Jontons, quite sensitive educational issues. Find our public school system lacking. It is pretty terrible. And they wish to build a new private school with your blessing. Except, but let me just slow down while I figure out exactly where to put it. I wouldn't mind having a private school, like, covering this area over here, actually. We're gonna, yeah, if we put it in this area over here, this could actually be useful for getting this area to be more desirable. So we're just going to put it there, and we're going to hope that's going to help raise educational standards. Now, who was complaining a moment ago about being grossly underfunded or something? Was it the City College? That's fine, the City College can have more money. In fact, everyone can have more money. I should just be investing more in public services right now. I've got plenty of cash coming in. Despite the level of debt, actually, which is quite good. High school, you get some more money too. In fact, the high school's getting pretty full up. We might need to consider building a new high school up north here to try and kind of take some of the stress off. And now just activate the cheetah speed. We are, by the way, in the year 2021 at the moment. We have reached the future. We are out of the past and into the future, despite the fact this is quite an old game. And we've got, ooh, a new cemetery. I think cemeteries are actually desirable, so I'll just kind of shove it over here at the very edge of town. That's absolutely fine. I think it makes this area right next to the industrial retail park for people who really, really liked shopping while they were alive. Beautiful. So that's all now become offices, which is good. More, uh-oh. We've got a small problem, which is a fire's just broken out. A fire's broken out in the power plant, and we've got literally no way of putting that. Okay, unfortunately, we're going to have to do this a slightly inefficient way, which is we're going to have to build a fire station actually here. Okay? So, now, deploy the fire. Yeah, I hope you figure out which one you're supposed to... Yes, good. That is now... That fire station there. That fire station there is actually exclusively for the power plant. But I didn't really consider that. I think we can make it less. I think we can oh no! Not another fire! They're now bothering me to spend $22,000 on a ridiculously giant statue. No, I think we might come back to that later. But for the moment, we should probably focus on the fact that I think we're significantly putting some stress on the system. The population has reached 60,000 and our creaking infrastructure just cannot take it. Okay, it's that elementary school over there that can't cope. And I think I know what that means we need to do. What we need to do is we need to set up a new area over here so that we can have some new schools and stuff absorbing some of the stress from around this area. So I say what we do is we set aside, yeah, we've got loads of money right now. In fact, you know what we can do? What we can do, actually, we don't even need to flipping lower taxes. Everything's absolutely fine. What we need to do is we need to set up a nice little area over here that can be our new main area. And is this all? That's road, right? No! Don't destroy the road. Don't destroy the bloody road. So there we can put a bit of new infrastructure in this area. And then the far side of that, we can have a brand new kind of residential area going out into the hills here. Though I am noticing that lack of water is beginning to show up quite a lot. I think once again we've eaten through our water supplies. Toss more water pumps at problem. Problem resolves itself. Actually, I tell you what we might need. We might need to upgrade this school into one of the bigger schools. That might be an easier way of handling this, absolutely. So we'll just demolish the striking school, because the bastards keep striking, and instead we'll build a large elementary school. But it doesn't quite fit. Okay, what are we going to demolish? Gosh darn it, I really liked my statue of myself as a massive hero, but we're going to have to get rid of this park. Get rid of the statue of me. We will build another one. We will build another, but not just this second. Instead, we need to build a large elementary school here. Now, this large elementary school should be able to cover a much bigger... I've never built one of these before. Let's see how they work. So, we've got a large elementary school here. What's its range? Oh, yeah. Its range is huge, which is excellently good news, which means we can actually put people straight away into those two cells for more residential. Let's lower its funding just for the moment till we know how many people are going to be using it, because I think number of students has jumped straight up to 1,500. There's a lot of people rushing to get themselves signed into their building. That's fine. That means we can move some people over here. This medical centre, meanwhile, if we just increase the ambulance funding, can handle this situation. Patient capacity is doing fine. And that means we can put some new areas up here. Straight away. Lovely. And up here, a few more jobs for them too. Let's just let time do its wicked dance. Loads more people. I feel like that is definitely the poorer quarter of the city at the moment up there, heading up the hills. People don't really want to live in that their portion of the city. But if we just let that area get a bit nice and some nice office job shows up, it looks like I think it is slowly being a little bit gentrified there. Now, this bit of town here down in the south, this is definitely the nice bit of town, and I strongly suspect that if I were to give them the ability to, that some of these people would definitely consider significantly upgrading the buildings that they live in. So let's just go into data view and zoning, because I've only given permission, for these areas here to be big buildings. But I think if I were to change that now, and I were to change these to high density as well, I get the feeling that actually a large number of these buildings will go immediately into high density buildings. I know it's a little bit subtle, by the way, but you can see like these darker green ones are like the biggest buildings, whereas the lighter green ones are the ones that are the medium ones. So there we are. We're just going to kind of slap a whole lot of green around here in this deeply, deeply lovely area. This is where the town began, remember? Do you remember how once upon a time in this street, this was where the original Bob's Grease Pit was. And this is where the first houses were. Right here, down by the water. And we go back to them now. And look what they've become. This is Colonel LLC. Whatever the hell that is. It's high-income jobs. Curtain fabrics. A selection of boutiques. Box top real estate office. This is now a place where there's flipping real estate officers. It's incredible. You know what? I've had a blood enough of that building. As soon as it's put out this time, we've just demolished it. You know what? That's fine. And we're going to build something else on top of it instead. We're going to build a memorial. We're going to build this here, a large green park. We're going to build a large green park as a memorial to the bloody place that wouldn't stop burning down. Here, have a community bloody garden so everyone can farm carrots in the lunch break. Now it will stop catching fire. Oh gosh darn it, the building next door is just catching fire instead. I thought I'd finally outwitted the game. And oh blimey, we've missed some development over here. That rezoning we did made one hell of a difference. Though interestingly, the huge tower that was built, even though this is like right in the central bit of the city, is, yeah, it's low-income housing, but like 2,000 people. Nearly 3,000 people living in that tower. That's beautiful. Now, we're moving the city in the right direction at the moment. The number of office jobs is going up very nicely, but we need it to keep going up very nicely yet. Now, this area over here that we haven't really developed down by the sea, I don't think it's particularly well covered by some things. There's a high school that sort of covers it a little bit. I suppose actually it might be just about covered by the... Yeah, actually, you know what? This area down here is probably reasonably well covered. There's spare capacity at the hospital, just. So yeah, we're going to make a little bit of a new residential area down here. This is actually quite desirable down here. Down by the sea. That's quite nice. Though as we've already got all of our water infrastructure here, and thus potentially we want to kind of keep this area a little bit more kind of secure, ready for more water that might theoretically be. I'm going to lay another road just behind these, just to kind of keep this area reserved so we can just shove more water on top of it. But I suspect in this area people are going to want more housing, though actually not necessarily so much. Actually, the residential demand is not so great, and we've got a huge amount of income at the moment. So I tell you what we could do. We could just slightly give everyone just a little bit of a... Actually, what do we want? We want to get potentially more... We want to get more wealthy people going on here. We want more office space. We definitely want more customer service. Then we can actually make a little bit more money from these guys. Make a bit more money from offices. I tell you what, this is a good earner from these business taxes. And let's actually give a nice tax cut to the sort of people we want. I feel like a monster, just so you know. Just kind of, you know, keeping taxes higher on the low-income people, but kind of lowering them for the higher-income people. Just increasing business taxes. And we've still got flipping high tax on our industrial, but it doesn't seem to be moving away. So it's a good way of keeping the books balanced. But yeah, let's just kind of keep those taxes moving up on these things and the taxes moving down on the officers. 1% tax. 1% tax. You know what? 0.5% tax for you. Let's just get more and more officers into this space here. And then just accelerate time. And there we are. More and more officers. Lovely. What I probably could do actually just to create a few more jobs here. I just need to start kind of filling out some space a bit more efficiently. So if I just literally run a row of officers down, like, yeah, just right down the zone is too large. Zone's not too large. Why is zone too large? This seems reasonable. Right about here. Zone's too large, it says. I think that zone's fine. And then I can just continue it now. Yeah, it just lets me continue it anyway. Some nice seafront shopping. That's gorgeous. So we just kind of put that there, and that will create some kind of nice extra shopping opportunities for these guys. Accelerate time, those will explode into life. And then actually, potentially, depending on whether or not, as usual, I've given them water. Would you believe I haven't? So that'll explode into life there, and that should therefore... Oh, blimey, heck. That's delivered some very rapid growth over there. Some big old structures. Population is growing crazy. We just need to get the office workers in here. Oh yeah, that little area down there was ready to explode into growth. And oh, look at that. That's some big old buildings too. Oh, but we've got a bit of a problem, which is we've got buildings being abandoned due to commute time. This is a problem. If buildings are being abandoned due to commute time, that's going to cause some very severe problems for us. And that means I think I know exactly what we potentially need to do. We need to get this city flipping moving. Oh, you're a big building. What are you? 500 high-income people are going to reside in that tower. Beautiful. I need to get this city flipping moving. And the way I'm going to get this city moving is I'm going to need to do transport infrastructure. I've got 150... I've got flipping... We are turning a very, very big profit here. What I need to do is I need to get these people flipping moving from place to place. And I think I know how we're going to do it. We're going to do it with a subway network. I'm just going to need to carefully put these little subway stations in locations where I'm going to be able to catch people as they're on their commute. So, for example, this right here, that's a good place for a subway station. Then I can just kind of put the other square that's now been left empty, can just be a community garden next to the subway station. I now need to sync up basically various kind of, you know, work environments. I've got actually the advantage of I've got these central plazas, which are actually quite useful. So if I just put my thing into zones, what I need to do really is I need to link up particularly all the different housing areas together with the major kind of commerce areas, particularly over here, as well as the industry down here. Ah, now this is perfect. There's a square left over right here, I think, which is not, I believe, part of any structure. So people can get the tube right into the middle of their working place. That's beautiful. We'll replace this here children's playground, I think, with... Actually, we don't even need to. There's space here next to all the infrastructure. So we've got kind of some structure over there. We've got a big, obvious kind of retail park over here. This big, obvious retail park... Ah, there's some unused space because it was just not friendly terrain. Beautiful. Then we've got a big kind of... kind of a big area over here. Yeah, look at this. I think some of this space was never used either. There's one subway station. Space over in this central plaza, the government area that was never used for anything. Perfect. One subway station over there. Just need to find a good spot over here in this infrastructure, kind of the whole big retail park in this direction. Well, I think I'm about to demolish this building, but never mind. Sorry. Oh, no, I didn't. I demolished part of a building. I'll kind of compensate them by, just building them some plazas here. Now, I'm going to link all those together, and we're going to see how that does. If that does any good whatsoever. We're going to build a subway here. And then, oh, I think we might have had a massive traffic accident over there. That's fine. So this gets expensive fast. But luckily, I have a very large amount of money. Now, this is the bit that's really going to flipping cost. Oh, yes. This is, actually, you know what? While this is expensive, I can afford it. And if it doesn't work, we'll figure out a way to fix it. It'll be fine. So we've created like a great big loop that we can tie various bits and things together with. Right? Exit underground mode. Now the question is, how many people are actually going to use these tube stations? And let's just accelerate time a little bit here and see if we help at all. Okay, let's just move forward a couple of months and then revisit. I'm betting no one's going to be using these. Tube station. Capacity used 0%. Okay. This is why I don't often use the flipping transport infrastructure. I'm very bad at it. Well, let's go down to this one that we built on here. Surely someone's got to be using this tube station. Subway station used. Capacity used 2%. Okay, it would appear that the initial subway network has been a resounding failure. Even looking at the central stations, they're not being widely used at all. Luckily, they don't actually cost that much to run, or have I just put myself into a massive financial hole? No, okay, we're still making a very healthy 1,000 a month simoleon profit. The problem is, more and more buildings are not... Yeah, they're getting run down and eventually abandoned due to commute times, which is a significant problem. Right, I need to identify how to fix this right the hell now. As a starting point, we could help out by simply running large number of roads through the city, especially if we look at traffic versus zones. Where do we have... Well, you see where we've got problems. We've got problems where we've got a traditional paved roads. If we make everything into a flipping proper road, that will buy us a little bit of extra capacity. Okay, I've basically repaved the entire city in roads rather than kind of residential streets to try and alleviate the problem. But I suspect that's only going to be a very temporary solution. So I've got a better idea, and I mean a terrible idea, but it is an idea, which therefore could work, which is I'm going to try and create a ring road. Even though I have admittedly somewhat already gone up to the edge of the map in certain areas. But I think that could work. So here's the plan. We're going to build a mega avenue all the way around the outside of the city, which is going to be faster than going through the city, obviously. So we're just going to go to here. And then we're going to move this here down around the outside. And we're going to link it into the city at regular intervals. But it's also going to go straight down and join up with the other highway. Yeah, you see where I'm going with this. It's going to join up with the other highway here, which is going to be very convenient. Oh, no, it can't join up with the other highway. Okay, well, we can indirectly make it join up with the other highway. Now I just need to figure out how to make these two things talk to each other. There we go. We got them to communicate. All right, so we've built this here massive Great Avenue thing. Now we just hook it in with normal roads into the rest of the road network, okay? Rest of the road network gets hooked into this. There we go. Then we can just attach it here. And we just attach it here. We're going to attach like more of it here. That's absolutely fine. We're just going to provide a proper road here. And just have this join up with this here massive freeway, which is this massive ring road, which is going to get people to the residential area and beyond. This is all going to be perfectly fine. Join it up. Yep, there we are. There's a join. There's another join. This is totally how a freeway thing works. And there we are, just a couple more joins onto the end there. No, right there. There we go. And now this should significantly alleviate the traffic around the edge of the town, right? So now, if we go into a traffic view, and we just kind of put that down. Now that I've done this, is it going to help? Come on. Help. Are people using it? I think that's looking slightly improved. Not spectacularly, I'll admit. Actually, I have an excellent way of verifying this. If I just turn this off and go into the rush hour mode, Avenue is being used by quite a few people. Okay, some people are getting some value out of that. At least some people are using it. I'd say that's probably a pretty solid result. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, with the traffic situation at least partly alleviated, I think next time we will continue with our grand aim. Grow this city, the skyscraper. The skyscraper must happen. Next time we will see what we can do. But in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, I've been Jonton. This has been Many a True Nerd. This has been SimCity 4. Thank you very much, and goodbye. Has he got nipple tassels on? There is nothing less intimidating than a fat bloke with nipple tassels. I wouldn't kill him. We're standing on top of a pool of oil and he's holding a torch. I'm fighting the same guy 3 times at the moment. It is actually the same bloke. It's cocking Scotland, not the waste beyond the wall. This isn't Game of Thrones, it's just Britain.